Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this, our Meditation Online Ireland. I hope you had a good day. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon here in New York. There's snow on the ground. The sky is blue. And it's not very cold. It's about 8 degrees, so I guess that snow will be melting soon. So if you're new, if this is your first time, please say so, and I'll try to show you what to do. If you've been doing this for some time, let's just together raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a bandhan. So I see we've got Catriona from Cork and Vivek from Athlone. There are other people, but I can't see their names, so a warm welcome to everyone. So I've been thinking about our library class that we run in the Bronx. And you know, the biggest problem is that people don't meditate at home. So they'll come once or twice a week to our library, and that's it. The next time they'll meditate is the next time they come to the library. And you know, that's a waste of time. But of course, I'm not going to say that to them, because in the past, people have started like that and then gradually started meditating at home. But it's really important that we try to meditate twice a day. It requires a wee bit of discipline, but it's possible. And if you do it, you'll definitely see a complete change in the way you see the world around you. So I'm encouraging you, try to build this into your habits. Figure out how you're going to do it. Because, for example, when you get up in the morning, my guess is that you'll have a routine. When I first discovered Sahaja Yoga, I had my exit from the house timed to the last millisecond, and there was no time for me to meditate. So I didn't. But after a while, I realized that I needed to. So this is what I did. I get up, go to the bathroom, make a cup of tea, clean my teeth, and then I meditate. When I finish meditation, I get dressed, go to work. And in the evening, there's two main possibilities. When you come home from work, just come home, sit down and relax and meditate, or do it before you go to bed. If you build it into your routine, you'll really see the difference in your life. So give it a shot and see. And if you've got particular difficulties in meditating twice a day, drop me a note. Just write on that thing where it says right here, write your comments here. Or send me a private note. You can find me on Facebook. My name is Alan Wary. And I'll see what I can do to help you, okay? So let's begin our meditation. If we just put our attention to the base of our spine. We let our attention go inside. This is the Muladhara chakra, the most important one. because it's the root that sustains us. So let's begin by asking for the qualities of the Muladhara. Let's say, please make me pure and innocent. Please give me wisdom and auspiciousness. Say that 2 or 3 times. Please make me pure and innocent. Please give me wisdom and auspiciousness. If you're not sure what auspicious means, and I wasn't, look it up in a dictionary. But the best definition I've come across is Srimataji said, it means pleasing in the sight of God, or the divine power, whatever you want to call that energy that we don't understand. So let's bring our attention up from the Muladhara chakra, up to the next one, which is called the Swadhisthana. If you look at the chakra chart, which we have under files, you'll see that the chakra chart, the Swadhisthana, is colored yellow, and it's the Star of David. So let's put our right hand on the left side of our Swadhisthana. It's just on a level with our hips, a wee bit below the belly button. And here on the left side is the seat of pure knowledge. Everything that we need to know of a spiritual nature is inbuilt here. And with Kundalini awakening, it starts to manifest, it starts to show up in our everyday life. So let's say here about 6 times, please let me have the pure knowledge. Please let me have the pure knowledge. So the pure knowledge is essentially the knowledge of the Spirit. Things like compassion, intuition, actually wisdom. And these are qualities that we recognize in other people, but you can't take evening classes to improve them. And you can't read a book to improve them either. But as you meditate, you'll discover that they just start to grow inside you. Please let me have the pure knowledge. Now let your attention and your left hand come up until it's at the top of your stomach, just underneath the rib cage on the left side. So this is called the Nabi chakra or the Manipur, and it's the seat of our well-being, of our family life, and it's the seat of our spiritual evolution. You know, every creature that's ever lived on this planet, from the single-cell amoebas, the first form of life, to the millions of varieties of life we see today, all had to do one thing. They had to evolve. And the law of nature is that if you don't evolve, you go extinct. We're no different. We've been Homo sapiens for about 100,000 years or so. And the next state of evolution for us is spiritual. So when we get the pure knowledge, we then become our own masters, our own teacher, our own guru. So let's say here about 10 times, please let me be my own guru. Please let me be my own guru. Let's just consider for a minute what we mean by that. Most people are obviously not their own master, their own guru, because they're basically controlled by their conditionings and their ego. You'll often hear them say, oh, people like us do X, Y, Z. Or they'll have their conditionings. They don't like people with a different skin, with a different religion. And this doesn't exist in any reality, because the person standing in front of us is a human being just like us. We're all children of the same God, and not to like them without giving a chance to see what sort of human being they are is just not fair, either on you or on the person. So when you become your own guru, you find that you start to see reality for the first time. And your opinions and your conditionings start to take a back seat. And that's a wonderful and amazing thing. So let's bring our right hand onto the heart. And in the heart resides the spirit. The spirit is a reflection of the divine. And with your Kundalini awakening, the spirit will start to manifest in your life. You'll be very aware of it. And for example, you'll notice that you're more compassionate to other people, because compassion is one of the qualities of the spirit. And you'll start to see truth, where before you were confused. And the truth is that we are the spirit. We are not just this body, this mind, this intelligence. If you strip all of that away, we're left with spirit. And the spirit is eternal. So here we say about 12 times, I am the spirit. We're asserting this, we're affirming this. I am the spirit. Then we take our right hand and bring it up again to where the neck joins the shoulder on the left side. And turn your head a wee bit to the right. And if we truly are the spirit, the stuff that we feel guilty about didn't come from there. And as increasingly we become the Spirit, here's what we say 16 times. I am not guilty. I am not guilty. You know, I've been to parts of the world where people do something bad and they don't feel guilty, not at all. And I was amazed because growing up in Belfast, I saw that people, including me, felt guilty about all sorts of stuff. And there's a strangeness about that, because in order to feel guilty, you have to have a big ego. And these people that I met in other countries didn't have big egos. When things weren't wrong, they didn't blame themselves, even when sometimes they should have done. So this catch here on the left fasciitis causes a lot of problems in Ireland, and I gotta tell you, in New York as well. So it's important that we say the words, even if at this stage we don't entirely mean them. Because if you can persuade yourself to meditate twice a day, you'll discover that all this sense of guilt will disappear. So now take your right hand and put it flat across your forehead. And say a couple of times, I forgive everyone, including myself. I forgive everyone, including myself. This is really important. When we don't forgive, the ties that bind us to the person who did us harm are there and intact. And there's an unhealthy dynamic between us and them. When we say, I forgive everyone, those bonds, those ties are broken. And we discover real liberation, real freedom. So try it. After all, we're just sitting on a chair or sitting on the floor. Just say it. And when you meditate, if you say it, you'll find that the sense of us being inadequate goes away. So take your right hand and put it on the back of your head. Let your head fall back into the palm of your hand. And as we forgave, so we ask for forgiveness. Here we say a couple of times, if I've made any mistakes against my spirit, please forgive me. We're asking this Kundalini energy, this mother energy inside us, to forgive us. If I've made any mistakes against my spirit, please forgive me. Then stretch out your right hand and put the palm of your hand down in the crown of your head. And press down quite firmly and rotate your scalp in a clockwise direction if you're looking down from the top, about 7 times. And each time, if you're new, say, Please let me have my self-realization. If you've been meditating for a while, please say, please establish my self-realization 7 times. When you've finished, just raise your right hand off the top of your head. Bring it up vertically, slowly. And somewhere between maybe 10 and 30 centimeters, you'll feel, without trying, this little breeze on the palm of your hand. It's very, very gentle. It's like somebody just blowing on the palm of your hand. When you've got it, keep your focus where your hand is. Bring your hand back on your lap, palm up, and we'll meditate for a few minutes in the state that's called nirvichara, or thoughtless awareness. So let's just stay in thoughtless awareness for another minute or so. So let's just slowly open our eyes and raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a bandha. So you might have seen that on Sunday, March the 5th, Dr. Ashish Pradhan is going to lead the guided meditation, and he's also going to tell you about the relationship between Sahaja Yoga and health and the medical aspects of this. He's a very interesting guy. He's been meditating using Sahaja Yoga more than 30 years. He's lived in many countries of the world, and he now works for one of the big pharma companies in New York. And he will present to you research done by a woman, Dr. Katja Rubia, who lives in London. She's German. And she's done some amazing research into the medical benefits of Sahaja Yoga. So try to make that. It's at 4 p.m. on March the 5th. And if you can, and you live reasonably close, I think there are 4 physical meetings where you can learn more about Sahaja Yoga meditation. In Dublin, that's the big one, and in Belfast, and in Waterford and Athlone. And if you can't, and you don't live nearby, don't beat yourself up. But there's a final thing I would really ask you to do. As well as meditating twice a day, and really disciplining yourself to do that, foot soak every evening. This is really important, and it's easy to do. Here's what you do. Buy yourself one of those plastic washing up bowls. You know, the sort of thing you can do the dishes with. They don't cost much, and keep it only for this purpose. So in the morning or in the evening, whenever you decide to do it, just put enough lukewarm water in the bowl so it will come up over your ankles, and put a handful of salt into the water and let it dissolve. So meditate with your feet in the lukewarm water for whatever you normally do, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then rinse your feet off with clean water and dry them on a towel, and throw the water in the bowl down the toilet and rinse out the bowl, and only use it for this purpose. So I'm amazed that you don't ask more questions. For example, why do you say one of these things 4 times, 6 times, 10 times? Why the different numbers? So here's the answer to this. If you look at the chakra chart under files, you'll see that each of the chakras has a different number of petals. And we say these things for that chakra depending on the number of petals. Now, Lisa has just asked, she said she was just going to ask about foot soaking, so I hope I've answered that. And she said, do you meditate with your eyes open or closed? Well, actually, in my case, I do it sometimes with my eyes open, sometimes with my eyes closed. It just depends how I feel. But you know, if I'm thinking too much, I find that if I focus my attention at the tip of the candle flame or on that red dot in Sri Mataji's forehead, it's called a bindi, that helps me go thoughtless. And another thing I've mentioned, and I don't know if you've seen it, but you see when we start the meditation, the height of the candle flame today was about half the size that it is now. With us all meditating together, look, the candle flame is double what it was. I don't know why that is. But focusing, actually, I'm wrong. It's better to sort of be a bit unfocused. Look at the tip of the candle flame or the red dot on Sri Mataji's forehead and sort of loosely focus as if you were looking past it, and you'll go into thoughtless awareness much more easily. So all I can say to finish is that I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I do. I'm constantly astonished that I can feel, and presumably you can, feeling this energy between us, and we're 5,000 miles apart. How can that be? But, you know, there's certain things I don't know the answer to, thank God. So have a lovely week ahead, and I'll look forward to meditating with you again soon. All the best.